Bristol's #1 for entertainment.
Hello, and you are listening to Article on Ujima 98 FM. We've had a pretty interesting week of it, news-wise. We have a few Mercury Prize winners. We'll be hearing some more of those later on. Last week, we talked about the iPhone headphone jack and how that's disappeared from the iPhone 7. We also talked a little bit more about that massive attack gig on the Downs. We also spoke to soul band Alero, so we've had lots of nice things going on. In the studio today, we've got myself, Cal. We've also got Leonard.
Ingus, hello.
Or Ingus,
Yeah,
my apologies.
that's my new name.
Already forgetting the pseudonyms. That's bad, isn't it, guys? Bad. We've got Marcus as well.
Hello, everyone. Did you guys miss me last week? Dab, no? Okay, cool.
Featuring special guest #1, Kyle Cooper.
All right, hey.
And also, we've got somebody from the internet joining us today.
Oh.
Yeah, way outside of the realms of reality. We have the young Wolfking. Well, let's listen to a little bit of what the young Wolfking gets up to.
Hey there, Wolfpack. Today I have something that I kind of need to say, and it's kind of been bugging me, and there's been someone that I've kind of been seeing on the internet, and I was thinking maybe it was time for me to tell you who that person was, and it would really mean a lot to me to kind of say this. I feel great when I speak to her and stuff, but anyway, without further ado, I'd like you to meet Evie.
Hello, sweetie.
See, we got a good thing going on here.
Okay, that was an
Christ.
interesting clip.
Very nice indeed.
Oh,
So that's
man.
the young Wolfking. Tell us a little bit about yourself then, Mr. Young Wolfking.
As you said, I run a YouTube channel. But my main kind of thing on YouTube is I run like a comedy sketch kind of show about kind of nostalgic things and old TV shows and very bad video games.
That's brilliant. We're going to be picking your brains a little bit about all of that later on, especially about nostalgia. I mean, today we're going to be doing a plenty YouTube-themed show, so I think there's going to be lots and lots to sink our teeth into there. We wanted to actually pick your brains a little bit on something that a lot of other YouTubers have had a reaction to, which is the issue of this headphone jack disappearing from the iPhone 7. It's going to affect quite a lot of people in terms of, like, last week we were talking about the cultural impact it will have on bedroom musicians, on people just even plugging and playing at a party, that kind of thing. That's going to go and fall by the wayside just because of a small technical change, really. We wanted to know what your thoughts were on that, really.
Dude, I've lost mine already. I haven't even got the phone. I've lost mine already. I don't know. It's weird. Apple keep taking away certain things. It's like the new iMacs or don't know. They just keep taking away things and making it.
So with the new
slimmer.
iMacs, like they've lost the CD drive, haven't they? They've taken.
Yeah, they have
away
actually.
that.
And like
disappearing.
on the new laptops, they don't have like I swear they don't have USBs anymore. Is that right? I'm not sure.
Yeah, you can see how we're beginning to touch on nostalgia even there, aren't we? All of these different little bits, these little relics of a hardware age where, you'd bring a CD to a friend's house, like a mixed CD or mixed tape if you're old.
Right.
Yeah. There's plenty of other different like kinds of physical media that we use like this. I wanted to also kind of run past you some other YouTube reactions to this, just to see what your thoughts were on them, really. We've got Aussie Man Reviews here, who's actually spoken directly about the issue surrounding the loss of this iPhone headphone jack. He's reworked one of the adverts, so here's Aussie Man Reviews having a pop.
Actually, just before we play this clip, a little bit of a shout out to him because he let us use these clips. So like you can check out his channel.
That's nice.
So it's Aussie Man Reviews. Just look it up on YouTube. You can get it. But this is what he had to say about the new iPhone.
Cool.
It has a screen. You can see it. Longer battery life. I'm super happy they include 2 free replacement toothbrush heads. It looks like Wall-E. Having 2 eyes means it can see everything you do. It's no longer hindered by cyclopia.
So that's just a couple of things he had to say about it.
Man.
I need to explain no longer hindered by cyclopia, first of all. That basically means it's now got 2 cameras.
Yeah.
That's just worth pointing out.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So this is the sort of thing you do, though, isn't it? You kind of react to stuff like
yeah,
this.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of I kind of stay away from like modern things. It's mainly like old TV shows or old films or movie title video games.
You did one on a Michael Jackson game, didn't you?
I
watched that video. I enjoyed it.
That was my first.
What was that, Moonwalker?
That was my first.
Whoa. It's old school.
Yeah, that was my first kind of like main episode that I did, because before it was all kind of like I did like 2 Let's Play ones, and then I was like, no, I want to make the show that I want to make, and I remember I got a Snapchat from one of my friends, and he was playing the game, and I was like, there's a Michael Jackson video game, and I was like, that's got to be touched on.
And, you've heard of this one?
Christ.
No, I've not. My nostalgic video games goes back to the N64 and predates that a bit more as well. But yeah, that passed me by. But any kind of game adaptation of a music star's career, I'm not sure there are that many.
Yeah, that's true actually. Yeah, especially because there was a lot of high production values in that. I think like nice sprites and everything.
Oh yeah,
nice
look visually, but there's some risky stuff on there that I was like, ooh, maybe they should have avoided that.
When was this game released? Do you know?
Oh, it was in the 80s, yeah.
Do you know the history behind it? Or is it
I think actually maybe a bit more recent than 80s, but it's early 90s definitely. It's an old game.
I think it was, yeah. No, not really. No? I just kind of like play through it. I'll do notes around it.
Play it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I played through it all, and just some things I was like, they can't have put that really, but it's good and everything. There was a arcade version of the game as well, which I'd never got around to playing, but that was the one my friend had, and I found the Sega Genesis version.
It sounds like you've kind of got like this real multimedia sort of perspective on it, and it sounds like a lot of these things are taken directly from your own childhood, your own sort of life experiences.
I loved Michael Jackson as a kid. I remember this story where I think I was like 5, and do you know where Watch It is? They have like a festival. It's near Minehead, and they had like a festival, and I remember there was like a small stage somewhere to the side. Yeah, it probably wasn't a stage. It's probably like a stack of pallets or something. I don't know.
From your perspective at the time, that's a stage. Yeah.
And I got up and started dancing and singing Michael Jackson as a kid, and I had my own little crowd. And I was like, "Oh, this is random."
Were you one of those kids who learned to moonwalk really early?
Yeah. Yeah.
High priority as a kid is nailing your first moonwalk.
Yeah, I had some messed up priorities as a kid. That wasn't even on my radar.
Did you learn to click your fingers?
Yeah, I managed that all right. That's not too bad. But yeah, moonwalking, no. I mean that took a while. So I've got a pretty nasty moonwalk.
I know how to moonwalk.
I think we're gonna have to carry on the
probably
topic.
Don't anymore.
We're gonna have to carry on this discussion right after the break.
You're listening to Ujima 98 FM.
Okay, we are back. So, guys, we were talking just about nostalgia and Michael Jackson, things like that. So, let's carry on with that discussion for a little bit.
We were all
anything else to add?
All kind of dancing to Billie Jean just then. In fact,
I love Billie Jean, man.
Yeah. You guys were talking a bit about that album that got released kind of after Michael Jackson's death, which I have to be honest, for some reason that's a complete blank spot for me.
Oh,
what's
the
the deal?
You know the one he did with Justin Timberlake, like "Baby."
Love never
that
so
one.
good.
Yeah, basically it was songs that I guess he felt that he didn't want to release when he was alive, but his record label thought, damn it, we're going to release it anyway.
It was quite controversial for that, because I know like a lot of people were saying that it was the record company quite cynically, cashing in on the fact that it's going to sell.
Yeah.
But did you actually? I've not actually heard it, but was it good music?
Yeah,
it
was really good. It's good because you can tell kind of what era some songs were, or like what album it was meant to be for. That was quite interesting because they did like an up-to-date remix version where they took the like bare bones of the song and then they just kind of created the music around it. And then the other half of the album is the original like versions that came like obviously straight from the studio that he recorded it from. Some of them are different, but in my eyes, like the original versions are quite a lot better.
I'm just interested to bring it back to kind of I feel like we've got a theme growing about nostalgia here with Michael Jackson. when you start separating him into individual tracks, do you feel like maybe his artistic intent breaks down at all, or are you supposed to listen to him a la carte, like one song at a time? Because I'm one of those people who listens to an album rather than singles. What do you reckon? Is he one of those people where it's just like one song at a time? Because that's how I've always accessed him.
Yeah, especially that album.
Yeah.
You can kind of like, if you listen out to certain parts and his voice is different, not completely different, but you can kind of tell the feel of the song of kind of what album it was going to be on or when it was recorded. But I really liked it. It's really good.
So aside from the Jackson game, what's your other? What have been some other classics that you've reviewed?
Christ. Game-wise, it was the Toy Story franchise, and some of those. Oh my god!
What platforms? What sort of
you can tell like some of them were just like Sega Genesis, Game Boy Classic, Game Boy Color. I think the last one was like it's PS1 game.
Oh, I think I played that. It was busted.
Yeah,
it was completely. It didn't work.
No, it was really. You can tell their cash-ins and they didn't really put thought behind the characters and stuff, but. Like the early ones, anyway.
There was that one decent one that was like, it was basically the Tony Hawk's game engine, and it was the Toy Story characters on skateboards. And because it was borrowed from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, the gameplay was really smooth and really crisp.
I skipped that. I didn't see. Oh wow!
I highly recommend.
Did you play it?
I played that one. Yeah, I loved that. I used to love Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you know how that plays, right? It was the same thing, just with Toy Story characters. Yeah. I couldn't think of anything cooler than that.
No, that's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. I love Toy Story.
Yeah. I wanted to get into something in terms of your kind of business side of things, because obviously you're a YouTuber, you're kind of beginning to accrue sort of views and followers and things.
Yeah.
And because we've had Jamel15 on here before, and Jamel15 is one of those people who's been sort of pranking people on Park Street for years. He's
just a prank, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a social experiment.
Yeah,
sorry, I'm joking.
He is essentially like one of those guys, and he's done really well for himself. And he's been monetizing it as well, and a lot of things are going to change for him, I think, because of a recent policy that's come out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm sure this is quite close to your heart. YouTube has, for those who don't know, demonetized a few different kinds of content. So that means they're no longer going to pay for advertising for sexually suggestive content, violence, inappropriate language, promotion of drugs and regulated substances, or controversial or sensitive subjects and events, including subjects related to war, political conflicts, natural disasters and tragedies, even if graphic imagery isn't shown, which I think is quite an important point there. Basically, I don't know about you guys, but I can't think of many people I actually watch on YouTube who won't be affected by this in some way.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, there is a couple of things, like they do say that like some inappropriate content can still be eligible for it, but it's still ultimately at the whims of this corporation who gets to advertise on its site and who doesn't, and people have made a living out of this. I was wondering for you, as someone who's just beginning to make a living out of it, how do you react to this news?
It's quite disheartening, especially when you see like the people that you look up to and you watch that, as you said, have made a living. And it's scary to think, are they still going to be around? Are they, know, it's like, what can you put out? I mean, without filtering yourself online or through your videos, what are you going to do? Like, what can you do? What's safe, what's not? At first they thought it was the tags, like people putting inappropriate tags, but no, it wasn't that. They made a statement saying, that they've been doing it for a while, and it just no one had noticed.
Ads down,
and then people would be looking at their older videos and going, "Why is that unmonetized? Why?" And then they got no response. And I think most people are just annoyed about that. Like the creators, that we didn't really get like a warning or anything. It just kind of happened. Like no one knew these changes were happening until it happened.
And it's interesting, isn't it? Because I don't know how you guys feel about this, just to open this up slightly, but does a corporation get to decide that kind of thing? I mean, they're offering you the platform. Shouldn't it be their rules? Shouldn't they be basically saying it's our house, so our rules?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's more annoying because you don't go to YouTube for YouTube. You go for the creators or who you want to watch. You know, it's not the company that's big. It's the people on there that's made it big.
Right, so
it gets the visitors.
So the gist of what you're saying there is basically like they should be really listening to their content makers.
Yeah, instead of just like kind of like blocking us. And
I wouldn't be too upset about it though, because it's I would see it as like a challenge. Okay, so YouTube's been rocking this sort of style for X amount of years, but now they're like, hey, we're going to flip it up. And I guess it's not just changing for, one person or one creator. It's for the whole entire, group, company, corporation.
But it's not the only platform that exists.
Yeah,
like,
you can go on Twitch. You can go on whatever. You know,
you got Vimeo if you want to put like stuff out there. That's video based.
Other video hosters are also available.
The way they're going with it is like they want to go back to just having cat videos on there. It's not.
Yeah, the question which I don't think they've necessarily asked themselves enough is they've set the bar for what they call inappropriate content very low at the moment, and it's going to be interesting to see how they adapt to that, given that their audience is going to react to that. Do people want a squeaky clean YouTube?
No, it seems to me like they basically just want to make it that broad so that they can just take down things that they personally don't like, in the same way that Facebook recently was taking down conservative posts, and kind of like there was an obvious liberal bias, which I mean for me that isn't such a big problem because of my own political views, but I can see also from in terms of neutrality how actually that is a big problem, and I do appreciate that. And I think in this case it allows a corporation to exercise similar rights against its content makers, because it can say we don't like that, we're taking it down, and a very similar video could get a free pass for pretty much no reason. So I don't know how I feel about having that big umbrella, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a strange one. We're all a bit punch drunk, it sounds like.
No, I was wondering when this was actually going to be launched. So is this new terms and conditions active
It's
now?
already been happening, hasn't it?
That was their reply. They just said that it has been happening for a while, but people just haven't noticed, and now they've just kind of gone strong with it.
Had you noticed at all?
No, not for me. I don't think. I did check, but because you swear now and again, obviously. But
do you have a plan?
No. I don't know, really.
Yeah. I mean, like long term, is your plan to kind of make a living from it? And
that would be amazing, of course. But just take every video as you can, really, and just like as I said before, just stepping up the production and stuff like that. If it happens, it happens, I guess. But
tell us a little bit as well, just before because we got a couple of minutes left, and I want to play like something kind of towards the end of this if we can as well. But with basically your videos, like we've talked about your Moonwalker video, we've talked about some of the other games that you've played. Beyond games and that kind of thing, you were also reacting to a lot of other content. Like, what other things have you covered on your channel?
Mostly, they've kind of like old nostalgic films or game films or something like that. Like I've just finished writing one for the Super Mario Brothers movie that will come out after November, I think.
Did they do a movie?
Yeah.
Is it
really?
like a
live action
thing?
one? Yeah.
Wow.
It's strange.
I did not know that.
It's,
Go archive crawling.
Normally my notes for a film or a game will be about 4 to 6 pages of just like notes of what I can make a joke out of, or structure to write a script around.
Do you test it in front of friends and family first? For like, have you ever come to a stage where you've created something and you think, is this good enough to put out? Is it not?
Yeah. Like I've skipped a few videos. I was like, nah, it's not like I'll write it all, and I've gone nah, or I can get something better. Or subjects seem to like come out of nowhere. Like the last one I did, and that's actually out now. You can check it out.
Plug.
Yeah, wait. It was a TV show called Animorphs.
Oh.
Yeah, I released.
I don't know it.
It's basically like this Canadian Nickelodeon show where kids can transform into animals.
Yeah.
It's high art. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
What is that? You've got these bad guys called the Yerks, haven't you?
The Yerks.
They live in your
the
ears
Yerks, man,
and mess your brain up. And like was it the Andalites?
Yeah, Andalites.
Is that right? Yeah.
Earworms are terrible.
Yeah, ain't good.
We've all been.
We're going to leave this on a bit of a high note.
Yeah.
And come into some more Michael Jackson.
Some more
so
MJ.
Billie Jean. Enjoy.
She
Hey everyone, welcome back to the third segment of Article. You're in the studio with the squad, Ingus, Kyle, and Marcus. And we have a very special guest, which everyone is very excited to have. It's the young Wolfking.
Hey.
And
Hello. Papa bless.
Bless. But before we had the amazing break, which everyone enjoyed, which I had a cup of tea with, we were talking about the show Animorph, which me and Ingus, or Ingus and I, know nothing about. So carry on with the amazing discussion about Animorph.
Go.
Nice. It's a strange show, man. It's one of those 90s Nickelodeon Canadian shows about these kids that can transform into animals. It's strange, man.
You had this guy Jake leading it, didn't you?
Yeah.
He could turn into a Labrador or something.
Yeah.
And...
Oh man, because he touched his dog. And that does sound weird.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just a strange show. I did a review for it. It's just weird. Like I can't really sum it up.
So
And
what's
it
the
even
appeal,
ends
then?
weird.
Why watch it? What's the
We
appeal to it? What's interesting about it?
I really don't know.
We were talking about like the body horror side of it
Yeah.
a little bit. Like that.
It's quite like you actually see
Yeah.
them transform, and like the stages halfway through are a bit like.
What time was
Weird,
this
man.
aired?
Yeah, like this is a kids show.
Yeah, if you picture a guy like halfway between transforming into a hawk, you see him like midway through that
yeah.
process.
Yeah.
That's really strange.
I made some
never
comments
pause your
on that,
VCR
yeah.
halfway through that process.
Oh, VCR, mate. We're going back in the day
Yeah,
now. aren't we,
we're
guys?
taking
We're
it
going
back,
back in the
man.
day.
I think it was a series of books, wasn't it, as well?
There's
Yeah,
like 100 plus books of just decapitation and viscera
yeah.
and puppies.
Oh, and worm aliens that crawl in your ear.
Yeah,
And
those
can-
things. Yeah,
Worm aliens.
Yeah,
okay,
worm
let's
aliens, they
just
can,
what? Come on.
That's the whole thing. I think that this alien basically crashes down. Spoilers. This alien basically crashes down, and these kids find this alien, and then this alien basically just goes, there's these other aliens that are gonna take over the world, and, by hatching worm aliens in your ear and taking over. So these kids somehow get the power to transform into animals to stop them, and that's the show.
So 90s TV was quite weird.
Quite weird.
Yeah.
Anything weird with bad acting in it has Nickelodeon's name on it.
Oh, mate, I
You
love...
really
Shots
selling it
fired.
here.
Shots fired. Sorry. I'm also... I might as well say now. I've just finished scripting an episode for a Halloween episode about Are You Afraid of the Dark? I did a part 1, but the part 2 will be coming soon. But I did part 1 I did part 1 like a year ago. But sorry.
You're plugging yourself really well today.
Yeah.
I must
Oh,
say,
sorry.
well done.
Good.
Three
Sorry.
times I've done a plug for you.
Oh,
Well
mate.
done.
Yeah. Buy this. No, I'm joking.
So just while we're on the topic, how can people find out about your show?
Just go on YouTube and type in Young Wolfking, and you'll see my face, and
The
you'll
subscribe
cry.
button.
No, I'm joking.
Click, click, click.
Hit that sub, like, comment, must watch, do not skip. No, I'm joking.
And you're getting a lot more demand, I guess. And the thing is as well, like a show like yours, a channel like yours probably wouldn't have existed 10 years ago. And
No.
I wanted to speak about that a little bit because we've got things like Red Letter Media these days. We've got Let's Plays on other services like Twitch, where you can just watch people play video games for hours and hours on end, with or without commentary. Why do we have this culture now where watching a film, going to the cinema and watching a film isn't always quite as appealing as watching someone talk about it on YouTube or watching someone play a video game? Why do we have this, to coin a phrase, a meta culture around it? Why do we now consume people consuming things on the internet?
I don't know. I think it's more. I think they come for sometimes they just come for the games where people will just watch like a playthrough, like a whole playthrough. But I think for the most part, all the big kind of Let's Play YouTube, I think they come for the personalities. Like it's more like they're on a couch together playing the game than kind of watching a screen, if you know what I mean.
So
like
they
get used to the personality, so they almost become friends. You know what I mean?
So if someone was to watch your YouTube channel, it would be like sitting down with a mate and watching a TV show with them, that kind of thing. Where you
it'd be me making jokes about that,
Yeah.
I guess. And
Well, yeah, it's
doing
a bit
sketches,
like
but yeah.
what do you guys call it? Hate watching? Like, you ever done that where you sit down and you actually just you watch something
It's
in
not-
order to
yeah.
make fun of it, that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's not like
hate's a strong word, but
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not like I like go on. I'm like, this sucks. Oh, like get
Yeah.
rage about it. It's more like if it's a bad acting, I'll make a joke around it, and
Yeah.
kind of that thing, and we'll just laugh at it, kind of thing. But yeah, but I think it's more for the personalities and stuff like that that they come to watch.
So what inspired you to do YouTube? Like you think, hey, I'm going to get a camera and I'm going to start this stuff up.
Basically, I think it was like a few years ago when did anyone play that Slender Man game when it first came out? Like that was like the big hype, wasn't it? And everyone was like, "Oh, you got to play this for like a scare and stuff."
Can you sort of enlighten those who don't know about Slender Man a little bit?
Slender Man, he is a tall, slender man. Faceless, tall man that follows you around in the woods, and you have to collect letters. I think it's like 5 letters, and you'll beat the game. But you go around these woods finding these letters, but he also like can approach you from any angle, and he's just kind of that, creeping on you from behind and stuff.
So he's always in the corner of your eye.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's very much like that, where it's fast movement, and you'll see him, and then you'll look around, he disappears. But then, I think
So
the more letters you get, the more he'll appear.
So this was part of your origin story as a
YouTuber.
YouTuber.
Well, I was at a house party, and my friend had it on his laptop, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we'll have a go," And I had a go, and I like screamed my head off. And then I was like, I think a few nights later, I was looking online for like people's reactions to it. I didn't have a YouTube account then, and I came across this guy called Markiplier, and I watched his reaction, and then I was like, I'll watch a few more of his videos. And he mainly did horror ones back then, and I just ended up watching him for ages. And then I think it was a while later. I think it was like 6 months or something. It was just a thought in my head, like, I really want to do this. Like, I really want to like make videos in that way, and just.
Why did it take 6 months for you to go? This is it.
I didn't even do it then.
Oh, really?
It was just a thought, and then I was like, I really want to do it.
What was holding you back, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't really know. It's one of those things like, one day I'll do that. One day, and then like time just goes by, and you're like, I still haven't done it.
Yeah.
And then I remember my friend. A game came out on PlayStation called Outlast, and he had his phone, and all like 3 of my mates went around to play it, and they were just putting like clips of them like playing it on Facebook, not like doing it seriously or anything, and they were all screaming their off, and I was like, this is hilarious. And then I did it for a game, and I sent it to them, and they were like, oh yeah, it was really funny. And then I was like, should I just do it now? Because I did it to put it on Facebook. Why not just do it? So I did my first video. I think it was like a couple of years ago now, and that was just like a horror one. And I just did that, and then also I watched this. The main reason I make the videos I make is because of a guy called JonTron. He does pretty much similar stuff to what I do, or like I took influence from him, and yeah, that was it. And then I was like, all right, I want to make these type of videos. I know they take longer to make and everything like that, but then I did it for the Michael Jackson one.
So this is moving into your reviews and your sketches and your reactions to things. Okay.
Yeah, that was basically it. I was just like, yeah, it will take longer to make, but they'll be the videos I want to do. And
so why have you chosen those as opposed to carrying on with playthroughs?
I think it was more for like, I'm not really sure. I kind of like. He is my favorite YouTuber, but then...
So inspiration.
Yeah, pretty much. But then once I did it for the Michael Jackson one, I was like, right, this is what I want to do. And like everyone was commenting on it and messaging me and was like, yeah, it was really good. You should do more. And instead of... It sounds bad, but there's a lot of people doing Let's Plays. And it kind of gets like, you get drowned out in that way. Like, you'll be like, kind of it's another Let's Play kind of thing. Whereas like, you don't really put that much forward, but with these kind of like episodes, you really get like the personality and your kind of humor, and it comes across a lot better. Then
So, are you naturally the kind of person who does sort of watch something and make a wisecrack, or is that something you put on for your videos?
especially now I do those type of episodes. I can't watch anything where I'm like, oh, he's doing this, or did you see that in the background? Like, why is she making that face? Or I don't know. Or why did she say that? It's just weird.
Do you keep a notebook or anything? Like,
yeah. Especially with new
material.
things. Like this week I found the worst animated film ever. It's like a Cars rip-off, like a Cars bootleg.
See, I'm not.
My God,
I'm not
so
a fan
bad.
of Cars at the best of times.
No.
So something that's subpar to
Oh
that.
yeah,
That
It's
doesn't sound promising.
bad animation, no story, and just perfect for an episode. So I got to do it. I don't know, but
So
yeah.
what is it? Kind of is anthropomorphic cars again? Is it so like car people basically?
Yeah.
Right. And is that all there is to the
written
premise?
You think it's going to go somewhere, and it doesn't go anywhere, and you're just like, it's been half an hour and nothing's happened.
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay, but
What? So there's no actual plot or anything
No.
to it.
Do you find there's quite a lot of raw material out there that's sort of suitable for this sort of thing? I mean,
you can find stuff. Yeah, like
especially with things like
I didn't know Animorphs until my friend was like, you should review this, and then we watched the first episode that night, and I was like, yeah, we've got to do this. It's just got to be done now.
So there seems to be a bit of a recurring theme, but I'm gonna have to interrupt this conversation once again. This seems to be all I'm doing really in this show at the moment. But yeah, we will be back right after the break.
Someone's got to do it.
Someone does have to do it, and I'll take one for the team. You know,
Nice,
it's fine.
My name is Judith Davis, and you're listening to the Article Show. You must tune in. Thank you.
You must tune in, and here we are with Article. So with us in the studio, we've got Ingus, we've got Kyle, got Marcus, and of course, we've got the young Wolfking himself, our YouTuber in residence today. You've just been listening to Laura Mavula's Green Garden. Laura Mavula herself is a Mercury nominee for the second time, I think. So she's actually been doing the rounds with her albums. She didn't get it this time. That went to Skepta, who we're going to be playing later on. However, Laura Mavula really is one of those artists that I don't think gets enough airtime, and she's one of those people who transcends genres a little bit. Kyle, we were talking about that earlier, weren't we?
Yeah, she was interviewed a few weeks ago, and she was sort of saying how critics try and categorize her quite a lot, and we were talking earlier about how it's harder and harder to do that. Now you've got more and more things being mixed together, more and more influences coming together. Like you were saying earlier about your different YouTube influences, just different musicians influencing different people, and it getting increasingly hard to categorize, and that actually being a good thing. Kind of moving beyond that and actually kind of like growing up a bit in terms of how we think about music.
So we're not trying to shove things into a genre all the time, you know. It's the same with books. Like I always get really dissuaded by when people kind of say, "Oh, this is young adult fiction." Immediately, I'm just like, "Okay, I'm not going to read it." Like you get that sort of thing where people actually they dismiss things because they don't think it's going to suit them. Like I remember I tried to describe what Stranger Things was going to be like to someone quite recently.
Good show.
But I really struggled with genre. I struggled with how on earth do you actually categorize that? I mean, exactly the same with Mavula, exactly the same with novels, like any kind of media really. You always struggle to kind of categorize it properly and really explain it in a way that's accessible to someone. It's always best to just sit someone down in front of it, I think. With that kind of
the
thing.
only way you can explain it to someone is really just, it's awesome. If you don't enjoy it, we can no longer be friends. Go and watch it. That's all that needs to be said.
That's a bit lenient, isn't it, Ingus?
Well, I mean, you know, let's just be straight with people.
Yeah.
If they don't like Stranger Things, what are we going to have in common, really?
Yeah.
That's actually right off the back of the nostalgia train, isn't it? Stranger Things. That takes because I mean, Animorphs itself, to go back to that briefly, was definitely modelled off that kind of sort of Spielbergy E.T. era, and Stranger Things really goes for the jugular with that.
Yeah,
doesn't
I really enjoyed Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to season 2. Definitely, that'd be amazing.
So what do you guys think then about shows kind of ripping off different ideas from different themes like that?
I guess if it works, it works. I think it's just all about adding your own flavour to it and just taking influence, I guess.
There's a fine line between ripping something off and making something that's slightly different. I think that's what kind of Laura Mvula's doing really well, is that she takes all these different influences and she's making her own sound, like it's her own thing. And other artists don't do that so well, and you get a lot of in the mid noughties when you had indie band after indie band after indie band turned out, and it was all Razor-like clones, and that was it. And that was all that was played for a while, and then we had the Rihanna years, and now we're kind of moving on from that, and that's for me a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's about where the money is at the end of it, isn't it? Really, that's what drives everything, I think. And I don't know. At the moment, it's 80s all the time. Everything is.
Stranger Things is definitely thrown it's definitely brought it back to the 80s kind of era kind of thing.
Yeah. I feel myself stretching.
Like even music's coming out now that's sounds like like the theme song and just.
Yeah, I mean, I'm stretching to make a link to Laura Mvula here, but again, it's definitely the influences of earlier stuff coming through. I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily 80s in that respect, but it's definitely let's try and head as far back into the past and really sort of own those influences and reappropriate them a little bit. That's what those two things have got in common.
Longing for an era when headphones fitted all sorts of phones.
If only.
Yeah, Apple.
Yeah.
The golden days of yore.
Yeah, Christ.
Last week.
Yeah.
God, making links like that, sometimes I feel like one of those detectives on a TV show, who's basically sort of connecting things on a notice board, with little threads and pins and stuff like that. It always feels really really tenuous, but I definitely with this I feel like we're on something. It's definitely it's nostalgia. It's pulling things back, constantly.
Yeah.
But then, what about movie remakes as well and things? Because there's been a lot of that happening.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've got a lot to say about that.
I don't know. God damn it. I don't know. Jurassic World. What did we think of Jurassic World? I don't really know. Last year seemed to be every film that was coming out was a remake or they were just kind of chucking them out. They were like, all right, so Jurassic World's got one, so Terminator's got one, and obviously Star Wars had one.
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters, yeah.
What about the movie Sausage Party? Have you guys heard of that
dude,
one?
yeah, that was rad.
Yeah, because
that was really cool.
Basically, I personally think it's like a spoof of Toy Story, or it is basically the same sort
it's that spoof
ethos as it.
Yeah, it's that kind of spoof of Pixar films and what you think. And then they're just like, nah, let's just make it really adult. Let's just
18 plus.
It was definitely they do not hold back on the jokes. You would think it was something from YouTube or something like that, where it's no, we can't make a film out of this, well, we can't put this in the cinemas, and they were like, we can.
It's very similar to sort of Laura Mvula or.
Well, okay, we get it. You all like Laura.
Let's go back.
Enough about Laura.
No, it is similar though. How you got the idea of things coming to life, but with Sausage Party, it really blows up. It really blows. It's
Not even sure you can actually say that on the radio.
I'm loving the
Hopefully
kind
it's all
of
right.
Venn diagram we're making here with we've got Sausage Party here, Stranger Things there, Laura Mvula there.
Hey, that's Hey, we're onto something, man. There you go.
But
we're riffing.
One thing,
good riffing.
One thing I'm really interested in getting at is what's the next step? Because you've got remakes of stuff that's happened. Are there going to be actually any new ideas happening, or is it just going to be remakes of remakes? What's going to happen?
2016. All of the new ideas have come and gone.
I don't know, man. It'd be like
what have ideas?
Do is make sequels. And
that's it.
I don't know, man. It'd be like
forward to it, kids.
Jason Statham in Transporter 12, I don't know. That could probably be something like that. I don't know.
With a highly charged Zimmer frame.
Yeah. Transformers 10, more explosions. I don't know.
There can only be so many explosions, though.
Yeah.
I mean, how?
Well,
what comes after that, really? Come on.
Yeah.
Megan Fox. That's about it. I don't know.
Megan Fox in everything.
Yeah, she is in
everything. Are you kind of hinting that maybe we'll start having some more original ideas again at some point?
Hopefully.
You think we're staring down the barrel of a new age of originality?
Maybe. I mean, well, who knows? But let's really hope so. Because if not, there's going to be some dark times ahead of us.
I don't know.
Let's just say that.
What do you feel then? Optimistic, pessimistic about the future of culture? Young Wolfking?
I don't know.
Just more content coming up, really.
Yeah,
the worse films that get made, the easier it is to rip off.
Yeah, the more I'm like, oh, there's a new script coming. I don't know.
What do you guys think of the movie 50 Shades of Grey? Because that was a book turned into a movie, and the book was like, oh, amazing. But the actual movie didn't get very good reviews on it?
I've never read or seen it, really. I mean, but the thing is, maybe that's part of the point, though, because all we have to do with that is kind of consume someone else's synopsis, someone else's ideas about what it is. Like, other people have said what it is to me, and I feel like I know the main characters and like most of what happens, but I've never read or seen it.
I haven't either.
The book's apparently just an extended like Twilight fanfic, which was almost the same thing again, and then 50 Shades of Grey span out of that, and then they made a movie out of that, and then they'll make a sequel. So this is,
this is culture eating itself.
More money,
yeah.
You know,
this is pop culture eating itself.
Pretty much.
What is next for the young Wolfking? What am I going to be seeing in the next couple of months or so? Plug time.
Plug. Get that money.
Just before the end.
Joking. The next video will be out on Halloween, which will be the Are You Afraid of the Dark Part 2 review. I just did a load of location shoots for that, just to like kind of know where we're going to film, and it'll be the first one we've done like out of location kind of thing. That'd be pretty cool. And then after that is what is after that? Oh, the Super Mario Brothers movie. Yeah. Got a cool like 80s arcade to film in that, and yeah, it'd be pretty cool. I'm not sure when that one will be out. It'll probably be like November time. But yeah, that's the videos I've got planned at the moment and scripted for. So yeah, just more content really. We've actually, instead of just myself filming, it's going to be 3 of us. So there'll be more production and stuff.
Okay, so have you always had a team, or is this the first time?
No, this will be the first time. It's always just been me, like, filming.
Do you pay them, like, $5?
Yeah. It's my mates. They want to help, so yeah, it'd be really cool.
Nice.
But
so
that's the videos.
Just to kind of keep this recurring theme going, I'm going to have to interrupt this conversation once again.
And close it probably.
This probably going to be one of not the last show that I'll do, but for a while. So I'm heading off to university just next week, so I won't be on the show for at least a couple of weeks. But we've got Carl with a little list of stuff happening in the next coming week. So what's happening?
Well, thank you first of all to Young Wolfking for coming in.
Thanks. That's good.
Thank you for Ingus as well.
And nice one, Ingus.
Yeah.